What the heck am I talking about when I tell you to write to market? I'm going to tell you coming up. Hey guys and gals, boys and girls, authors and author wannabes. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Your old buddy Tim here, back with you again to talk about all things authoring. And that's what we do on this program. We talk about the process of writing, editing, marketing, selling, and just counting the piles of cash that come from your books. Okay, so yeah, the last part was a bit of a stretch, but that's okay. Hey, as we do always on the program, what I do is I take questions from viewers much like you, and I answer those on the program. If you do have a question or comment, do me a favor, drop it in the box below, and if I use your question or comment on an upcoming show, you will get a free digital copy of one of my books, either Angel of Mercy or Sins of the Father. And hey, if you like what I do on this program, do me another favor and click the subscribe button below, because God forbid you miss this show, because it is free, which makes it an entertainment value. Today's question comes from Corinne, and Corinne says, Tim, I have heard you mention writing to market before. Can you please go a little more in depth in that process? Great question, Corinne, and one that I actually get quite a bit. I talk a lot on this program about doing research before you're writing and making sure that you are going into a genre that is not only comfortable for you, but one that you can sell books in. But it's called Write to Market. And I got to tell you, the guy who literally wrote the book on this topic is a gentleman named Chris Fox. And I mentioned Chris because I have read Write to Market, which is the book he wrote. You'll see the little graphic there. I read this book over and over and over. It's kind of become my gospel, because gosh darn, if I was going to write a book on the topic of writing to market, this is the one that I would write. But Chris beat me to it, so there's no need for me to jump on board. But let me tell you from just my own words what I'm talking about when I mention Write to Market. For me, writing to market simply means you do your homework. Before you actually start writing, you want to make sure that there is a market for the work, that there are people there who are going to read your books. Now, this is the exact same sermon that I used to deliver when I was doing entrepreneurial training. I owned a software company for many years, and I did a lot of entrepreneurial training. And what I would always tell new entrepreneurs is, before you spend the time and money inventing something or starting a business that you think will serve the masses, you need to make sure there is a market for your product. You need to make sure, Corinne, that there's someone out there with $1 that they want to pay you, hopefully more, for your work. Because I have to tell you from experience, it's very easy as an author and as an entrepreneur to come up with an idea that you think is killer. And so you put in the time and effort and you launch that idea into market, and it sinks like a fat lady on a lawn chair at the bottom of a pool. It just doesn't work that way. So what you want to do is you want to do market research to find out, number one, what kind of books are popular now, what genres, what authors, and then you want to, as Chris Fox says, write to market. Now, that can mean write to market your books, or write to market. Write to a market that you know has a pool of hungry readers. My old man, was a hell of a fisherman. And he knew exactly where to go to catch the most fish. But more than anything, and he would tell you this if he was still around, it was the bait that he would use. He'd go out and find a pond of hungry fish, and then he would figure out, okay, do they like worms? Do they like crickets? Do they like bread balls? And I know I'm digressing, but every now and then I just lapse into a moment of nostalgia, especially when it's pertinent. So that's what you're doing here. Okay, so you want to go out, you want to do the research, you want to look at the various markets, but the first question is, what kind of books do you want to write? So, Corinne, let's say that you are interested in writing a murder mystery or a cop novel or a detective story. You would go to Amazon, because it is the 800-pound gorilla, you would go to the Kindle store and you would look for books in the genre, books that are similar to the book that you are interested in writing. Now, if you read Chris's book, he goes into great detail about how to tell, where that book is ranking and where the book is selling. I'm not going to go in depth there. I encourage you to get his book to do that. But you want to look at, what books are selling, what authors are selling, what are the books like? How are the books similar and different from the book that you have in mind? Okay. You also need to remember, Corinne, that there are certain tropes that you must look at. Now, a trope, in my mind, a trope is just a plot device. Okay, for example, if you are thinking about writing a cop book, if I asked you, Corinne, what do most detective books have in common? You're going to say, well, there's a gruff old cop that is the pal of the hero. And the hero, the main detective, is probably divorced, probably has a drinking problem, and probably has an unruly teenager, usually a daughter. I noticed this plot device on a lot of shows. Ray Donovan, there's the Ozarks. There's always a teenage daughter who is just trouble. So that is a trope. It is a plot device. So what are the expected plot devices in the genre? What do readers expect? And that's the thing you've got to understand. Readers are not looking for you to reinvent the wheel when it comes to the detective genre. They are looking for you to write something in that genre like they like they read. And that's why you do all this research, Corinne. You want to find out what it is that's selling. Our strong female characters are hot right now. And I don't mean that in a sexual way, although maybe. If you look at like the Scarpetta books and those things, and a lot of the books that Michael Anderle writes, strong female leads, that's kind of a trope. That's kind of a thing. You might want to use that now. So again, the bottom line is you research this, you research the market and what's there and what's selling to figure out what you should write. It really is that simple. Now, by doing that, you have a better chance of selling books because you are writing books that the market will like. You are writing to that market, as Chris said. But here's another key, Corinne. Don't copy people. Don't go to Amazon and look at the #1 selling detective novel and then just copy it. Okay, that's not the point here. You're looking for inspiration. You're looking for, motivation and what the reader likes. You are not looking to take someone else's work and just change a few elements and launch it. You will get yourself into lots of trouble doing that, and appropriately so. I have a very low tolerance for people who copy other people's work, just don't do that. Okay, you're looking for advice. You're looking for data. It's one of the things about Chris Fox. If you read any of his books, he's always talking about the data, using the data to determine what to sell or what to write and what to market. And that's what you're doing, Corinne. You're going over there, you're doing the research, you're looking for data that you could put in this computer brain of yours and then write a book that the market will love. How cool would it be, Corinne, to actually write a book that people want to read? Most authors don't, because they don't do what we're talking about here. They don't write to market. They write to self. They write the book they like. They write the story they like. And then they wonder why no one buys the book. So there you go, Corinne. I do recommend Chris's book, Write to Market. I think you can get it for free on Kindle Unlimited. Just great information there. I recommend all of his books. I know I'm a bit of a sycophant when it comes to Chris, but he writes the books, damn it, that I should have written. The books that I would have written if he hadn't already done it. But he did a great job, so no need to do that. So, hey, Corinne, hopefully that was helpful. If it was, get over there and do the work. Do the research so you are writing to market and not writing to self, okay? Hey, appreciate the question. You are going to get a free digital copy of one of my books. If you like what we do here, you can do a couple of things. Leave a question or comment, and if I use your comment, you too will get a free book. But I would love for you to click the subscribe button, click the bell notification icon, give me a like, and that way you will never miss another one of these shows. And again, God help you if you miss this, because it is an entertainment value. All right, Corinne, hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully I've helped you become a better writer today. Look at the links below for Chris's book and also his website. I'll just put all the links down there. And we will see you next time. Get out there. Go write to market.